Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Pokemon Diamond Part 20. In the last part, we took down the gym leader, and now we're going to go into the library. And of course, there's an empty slot, but if you've seen the last part, you would know the circumstances of that, and there is Pokemon Master.
Wow, what the fuck?
See, man's complaining about me not doing dailies, and then it's a person to do dailies.
What the hell was that?
Whoever did that, fuck them.
Tyro, that was 100% you.
Wait, Tyro, was that you?
It was Tyro.
The game starts up its audio every time, even when I've already muted the phone.
But you could have turned it
You
down.
didn't mute.
No, you didn't mute your phone.
You didn't
No. I muted the phone, right?
No, you didn't.
I muted the phone. But
Tyro.
Pokemon Masters. Okay, so it's not like Go, where in Go, when I start off Pokemon Go, it's silent. It's already silent. It starts off silent.
Because there's an option to turn the fucking music.
So when I started out Masters, I thought that was the same logic, and then I'm like
Tyro, I've never been so baffled that you don't even understand the basic mute function on your fucking phone.
You press the volume down.
Muted.
You didn't mute it. That was the problem.
But the thing is though, you probably know that. No, the problem is if you're at the home screen and you press the volume button that controls the ringer. Would you?
I was basing it off Pokemon Go. When I start off Pokemon Go, it's silent. So when I started off Masters, I thought the same logic would happen.
I'm gonna start Masters right now, and then you're gonna see.
Well,
hold the fucking
we
volume
already
down.
did the mirror. Well, I know now. It's too late now.
I want to say how you didn't know that beforehand.
Because when I started Pokemon Go earlier today, it was silent. Jesus Christ!
I'm so fucking.
See, look at that. See, look at that.
We need see.
Master started. You hear nothing.
My head hurts.
Anyways, we're having this conversation with Roland in the library. He's basically telling us
Fuck
about
libraries.
the free legendary Pokemon up
You don't
the
need
lake.
to read. What the fuck is this?
Right.
Yeah, fuck reading. Anyways, he's telling us about Azelf, Mepper, and Yuxi. And in about a few minutes, there's gonna be an event happening.
I like how Richie agrees with fuck reading as he's reading the context of what. Because how do you know what Rowan's talking about unless you read it?
I already know it.
Context clues.
You read it in a magazine.
What you saw is
Yeah.
like fucking 8-bit finger move shit.
Yes.
Fuck you.
So yeah, we have to go outside to see what the fuck happened, and it turns out
What
shit went down.
Nothing.
Nothing happened. Everybody just go back to your regular lives.
Get back to work.
I like how it said old dude and kids.
Old dude and kids.
No, at least they were honest.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah, I mean, he is honest. I mean, it's correct.
Yeah.
Sounds like a book. Old dude and kids.
Sounds like a Scooby-Doo villain.
Old dude and kids.
Like zoinks.
That's like picture pages, right?
It's old dude and kids.
Or I would have gotten away for it too if it wasn't for you old dude and kids.
Ah, damn it.
Red was the imposter.
Scooby-Doo. Yep.
Okay, we're not getting that game.
Motherfucker.
Why not?
You know what? Speaking of Sinnoh, I shared the thing in the group chat, and for those of you that are wondering what I meant, basically it's from a Sinnoh out of context Twitter account, and they basically made this image from Among Us where it's like there's 2 fire types Among Us. I'm like, oh yeah, because like Sinnoh and Sinnoh fire types are not a thing because there's really not much of a choice.
The worst thing about that whole context, I want to give people context of when Richie posted that. I think we were talking about something else. We were talking about something else. And then Richie all of a sudden goes, speaking of Diamond. And we're like, and I wanted to be like, when the fuck are we talking about Diamond? I'm like, Richie.
Speaking of other topics, Pokemon Diamond.
Yeah.
No, it's like no.
That would have been a better.
No, it's like no. It's like a very bad Linus Tech Tips.
Seeing Infernape with 3 moves makes me cry, like in the deepest pit of my soul.
Yeah. But I'm just saying that thing in context. That thing in context reminds me of like some of the bad ad segues from Linus Tech Tips.
Richie, I'm gonna break your neck. This thing I just saw an Infernape use Rock Smash. Like I don't know how to deal with it.
Sega.
Oh! Can we talk about the stupid shit that happened today?
Wait. Real quick. TSS, because I know your shit's gonna be long. Real quick, I want to throw this out here. I don't like how we've casually gotten to the point now. We're in fucking commentaries, and Tyrone casually talks about killing Richie as a joke.
You know what's funny about that?
The Infernape knows Earth for fucking Rock Smash.
Tyrone, that's not the point. You literally said I'm gonna snap your fucking neck. That's not even. You can't even take that.
The funny thing about that comment.
That's illegal both ways.
The funny thing about the comment. The funny thing about the comment is that literally as soon as he said that, it was like, "Hey, Tyron can learn takedown."
I'm gonna take you down, bastard.
I was actually thinking about it, which is why.
That is low key
like,
funny.
All right, TSS. Let's talk about the bullshit.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. So guess what? So we were talking about the
Kevin, fuck that
PS5,
image.
the PS5, the PS5 bullshit.
Uh,
Well, it looks like Microsoft also had the bullshit today, because for I think the Xbox Series X on Walmart sold out in 9 minutes.
It was a 794% raise on the Xbox Series X.
Yeah, it was 747% on Amazon increase for the Xbox One X.
Oh yeah,
not
the Xbox
Series X.
One X. Yeah, that's what it was. See,
Yeah,
even
was
now,
it
I
funny?
thought when I said Xbox Series X, I thought I was referring to the old Xbox One X.
You know, that's why
That's how
why
confusing. Look, even as a
That-
gamer like
that's
myself, I
why.
don't even know.
That's why Microsoft can't spend $7.5 billion and operate a company where the Azure cloud doesn't fucking work when people want to pre-order. Their
I just saw the
fucking
Facebook image where it says Xbox, Xbox 360, Xbox One, Xbox One X, Xbox X Series, Xbox S, Xbox Chain of Memories, Xbox 358 Days over 2,
Dream drop distance.
Xbox 1.5 Fragmentary Passage.
Oh, and then of course the most
Jesus
important
Christ.
one, Xbox 3. There you go.
Yeah, and then Xbox Kingdom.
Reconnect Xbox 3.
You know the irony of that though is 3 could be a prequel to the 360.
I know.
That's sad, yes.
They should just name the Xbox One Xbox 720. You go around
Xbox
twice.
3 is the ninth installment in the Xbox series.
Bro, what?
I mean, that is literally the problem with Kingdom Hearts in the nutshell.
Right.
Well, one of the problems.
One of the various problems, yeah.
I mean, it sounds
It
like
is
it.
the problem.
Yeah.
Obama.
Odama.
Actually, let me ask you,
Biden.
Kingdom Heart, Kingdom
Wrong.
Heart fans this. As someone who's not really known the series, I mean, I have played a little bit of the first one,
Mhm.
somewhat the second. Would you say that the problems of the series would kind of scare away the newcomers at this point?
Oh, let me answer this in the best way
It
possible.
depends on what game you start with.
Pagey, go ahead.
Best answer, even us Kingdom Hearts fans don't know what the hell we're playing.
Oh,
Okay,
yeah.
All right, here's the thing. Kingdom Hearts, if we're talking about in order when the series released, like the
Yes.
order of the games,
Yes.
Kingdom Hearts fell off a fucking cliff after the first game. You know why?
Really?
Chain of Memories is dog shit.
And also it was on the Game
Yeah,
Boy Advance.
Yeah, it was also on the Game Boy.
Yeah, Chain of Memories is kind of...
Wait a minute. I thought there was this praise for 2. What happened to that?
Oh, 2's great.
Oh no, 2's great, but 2 isn't the 2
But 2's not the
game.
next game. Yeah,
Two's
2
not
is
the second game.
2 is the third game.
Yeah, 2's the third game. Chain of Memories is the second game, and that's for Game Boy. And then they re-released it again for PlayStation 2 called Re-Chain of Memories.
And then they released it with the collection.
Then they released Kingdom Hearts 2.
And then they
Yeah.
released DS games, and then
Yeah, well, those are whole
Yeah,
different
because
ones.
we got what 358 days over 2.
And then we got Coded.
We got Recode. Yeah, and then wait.
Yeah, we got
And
recoded.
then was it?
yeah.
No. Then was it Birth by Sleep after Coded?
Let me see it. Here's the list: Kingdom Hearts, Kingdom Hearts Chain of Memories, Kingdom
Mhm.
Hearts 2, Kingdom Hearts
Right.
358 over 2 days, Kingdom Hearts
Mhm.
Birth by Sleep, Kingdom
Okay,
Hearts
no.
Coded, Kingdom Hearts 3D Dream Drop Distance, Kingdom Hearts X, Kingdom Hearts Unchained X, Kingdom Hearts HD 2.8 Final Chapter Prologue, Kingdom Hearts Union X, and then Kingdom Hearts 3.
So literally, that would be.
Wait, no. Did you say Fragmentary Passage already?
Yes.
Okay, cool. All right. Yeah. Yep.
So-
that's it.
No, that's
So
part of
you-
the
if-
HD
if-
2.8.
And
thing.
just to give you context of how that jumps between consoles, that's PlayStation 2,
Mhm.
Game Boy Advance,
Mhm.
PlayStation 2,
Mhm.
DS,
Yep.
PSP,
Mhm.
DS.
Yep.
I want to say, 3DS.
Phone. No, phone, because Coded was technically on the phone
yeah,
first.
before it became on recoded.
Okay, fine. All right, fine. Well, okay, fine. So
it was on
The
what, an
phone-
Xperia phone? It was like on an
The
Xperia
phone in Japan.
it was so stupid. So phone, then 3DS, then PlayStation 3, then phone again,
Then
then I
PC.
think PC, and then PlayStation 4.
Yep.
and
That's
Xbox
the
One.
order. And
And
Xbox.
Xbox One.
Yeah,
And
but you're
now
not playing.
coming out to
You're,
all.
Bro,
you're not
people
playing the
used to tell
Xbox
me-
version.
Up until the PS3 collections came out, people were like, bro, being a Kingdom Hearts fan, you cannot have any console bias because you literally have to buy every fucking thing under the sun
That's
just
correct.
to have the full story. Especially considering, I probably would say,
Why
okay,
the
here's-
fucking
here's-
Magic Crops to top of the fucking...
Because they blew up the lake.
I don't know, man.
They blew
then
up
it
the
was
lake.
delayed. Also,
I think it was
Tyrone,
before-
quick question.
yeah, blew up the lake.
Just
Ain't
thought of
stupid.
that, since we were already talking about Kingdom Hearts anyway, which games are skippable for you in the series?
The mobile.
Ooh, technically Recoded is skippable. The sad part is Recoded is actually it's kind of fun.
You can't even say with a straight face.
I
you
say
bastard.
kind of fun only because like it did away with the whole. It did anything after Chain of Memories feels like a relief to me. So it's got its pros. Unfortunately, it's skippable. It's the most fillery Kingdom Hearts game to exist. 358 Days over 2 is only skippable if you don't give a shit about Riku. I mean, not Riku. If you don't give a shit about Roxas, if you
Yeah,
don't
if
care
you
about
Roxas,
yeah,
or
if you don't care about Roxas or Axel, you can technically skip 358 Days over 2.
although you won't know who Shion is.
Yeah, you won't know who Shion, Axel, and Roxas are because those three play a.
No, you'll know who Axel is, but you.
Oh yeah, because Kingdom Hearts 2. You'll know who
he's-
Roxas is kinda because of Kingdom Hearts 2, but you won't know his origin story.
Yeah, pretty much, and you
Yeah.
won't. You may not completely understand the
So
situation.
you can technically
with
skip
Riku's-
them.
and you may not completely understand Riku's body issue.
You really only need to watch the cutscenes in Dream Drop Distance. If in fact, I think they did that in the
Damn, man.
collection.
Yeah,
In
but
the-
Taro, that's like the case for the game.
Yeah, in the collection, you don't even watch 358 Days over 2. They just show you all the cutscenes from 358 Days over 2. You don't even play the game. So if you want to play the game, you still need to buy the DS version.
Yeah,
But what they do is they end up cutting all of it.
technically, Birth by Sleep is only Birth by Sleep to me is irrelevant up until 3. If you want it, because if you play 3 is the only
shit.
main game that is the only other
That's a
main
lot.
game that acknowledges Aqua,
Terra, Aqua,
Terra,
and yeah, Terra, Aqua, and Ventus.
yeah, like so if you plan to play 3, you have to play Birth by Sleep.
You have to play Birth by Sleep, yes, but
Dream Drop
technically, yeah, for a
Distance-
while you could skip it.
Dream Drop Distance is like the first game in like so long to actually be a continuation off of 2 because it was so because everything else was like either now you know the history kind of bullshit.
And you don't
Or
even
like-
have to acknowledge Union Cross's existence
Well, kind
Until
of
3.
until
Yeah, 3 because 3 does that shit at the end with them.
Yeah,
Well,
if you
even
were
that-
lucky, you could actually
Actually-
be in the game. That's the cool part.
Actually, that and 3 also references some of the stuff from Cross, from what I understand.
Yeah,
Yeah,
there's even the
but-
character silhouette that appears in 3. So.
Yeah, the character that states that the you can have the Keyblade of all sing power or some bullshit. Yeah, I guess, but I guess 3's unfortunately like a dick punch to anybody who skips some of the other games.
Well, remember, because 3 is the first mainline.
And
game.
what they try to do, they do the Jiminy Cricket's notebook thing where you can recap on all of that if you didn't play
To make
those
a long
games.
story short, plot.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
you have to read a lot. You
But if we're
literally-
talking about like legitimate quality in terms of which games to play, I don't know, bro. Like after I play 2, I low-key don't
play
care
2.
about going.
Yeah, just play 2.
Yeah, once you play 2, you low-key don't want to play 1.
Even
Really.
even out of context, 2 is good. Like, which by the time you play 2, you don't give a fuck about the plot anymore. Just play 2. You're playing with a Final
well,
Fantasy character
that's
and a
not true.
Disney character.
At, the,
Wait,
at,
wait.
this-
So
at this
Tyrone,
point,
what part in the series did you not give a fuck about the plot anymore?
I want to say after 2. I was like, oh,
So you still cared about the plot in 2 then?
so,
Yeah,
in
yeah.
that case, what I should probably do is if I ever wanted to play, I probably would play like the remasters of 1 and 2 on PS4 and do 3.
Oh yeah, because they're also the Final Mix version. They're the Japanese version.
well, TSS,
That
if you play,
have all the extra content.
TSS, if you play Kingdom Hearts 1, 2, and 3, and none of the games in between, 3 is just gonna be stupid. That's
Not
all.
if you're just there to play the video games.
Now, if you're
combat.
literally just there to have
Oh,
Sora,
yeah,
You're evolving.
oh, I'm evolving. If you're literally just there to have Sora swing around a Keyblade alongside Disney characters, then go at it. Fucking buy 1, 2, and 3.
Yeah, because
Realistically, but here's the thing: if you buy, here's my thing. 1 is only really good if you don't play any other series. Like once you play 2, I have no interest in going back into 1. And I low-key was gonna do it for a stream, and I was like, nope.
Yeah, I've been straggling on that myself, where everybody keeps asking me,
You know the problem is?
yeah,
You know
get
the
rid of
problem
ring attack.
One is more platform
I know. I
focused.
ended up doing so.
And fuck Sora's platforming control.
well, because he can't jump. His jump is shitty.
Well, it's almost like an old school jump. Like once you make it, you're going in that direction. There's nothing you can do about it.
Yeah, you can't manipulate his air movement. And
Yeah,
that,
he doesn't get better air movement until you hit Peter Pan where you can glide.
and on top of that, they're just starting off his combat system, so it looks boring as all shit. Like, admittedly, when I start swacking shit with the Keyblade, I'm playing Kingdom Hearts 2 sometimes just for the spectacle. I like when Sora, like, knocks people around with the Keyblade and does all these cool stunts and tricks and stuff. But Kingdom Hearts 1 is the start of it. So his moves and combos look very stale at the beginning.
Yeah, I would say if you play Kingdom Hearts, 2's a must.
Oh, yeah, 2 was amazing.
Fuck Chain of Memories.
What about the Chain of Memories PS2 version?
I hate it. I bought it. You know what? And that's the kicker, bro.
Pharrell has made it very prominent that he hates both.
I own both, and fuck the PS2 version because it's playing Kingdom Hearts 1 with fucking Chain of Memories combat, and fuck Chain of Memories combat.
I don't like either as well, but I can bear Chain of Memories in its PS2 version. I played the Game Boy Advance version, and I was like, ugh, this is...
Yeah, I got further than the PS. I got all the way up to Riku section in the PS2, and then I said, nah, fuck this. It's just annoying because it's like give me a hack and slash with like card based combat, and I'm like,
it's like they didn't know what direction they wanted. Like
to me, card games are meant to be slow and methodical.
Right.
Once you but hack and slash combat is fast paced.
Sadly,
So, like,
Union Cross kind of plays like that too.
Yes, I can't stand that shit. Birth by Sleep is good, although
Yeah, Birth by Sleep is fun.
Birth by Sleep
Short.
to me, I put Birth by Sleep and Dream Drop Distance in the same boat, where they're like cool games, but there's like a couple things that are just kind of janky about them, primarily due to whatever system they introduced in their game. They're both fine as handheld games. I don't know how they are as console games once they got blown up to the fucking
Remaster.
PlayStation. Yeah, I haven't played the remaster version of either yet, so I don't know. But
My issue is that they're short. They're really short games.
they're short and they're kind of janky.
Yeah.
But, like, it's a janky that you could come to love. That's the way I always looked at it.
Once you like establish Ventus, Terra, and Aqua's battle styles, you're fine. Like I know Aqua's a spellcaster, Terra is like a hard hitter with defense, but he's kind of slow, and Ventus is the speedy one. Like once you learn that, you're fine.
But then the game's over.
But then the game's over. Yeah, because what they decided to do is split it into 3 story modes instead of you just playing as one character. You play as Ventus for 1 story mode, Aqua
Yeah, really,
for 1,
you
Terra
know,
for 1.
you
But their
know,
story modes are less than half of what Sora's
Pyro,
would ever-
you want to know what the main problem with Birth by Sleep is?
Yeah.
The reason why you play Birth by Sleep has nothing to do with the gameplay. The reason why you play Birth by Sleep is because of the story.
Well, yeah.
You know, and you want to know why? You want to know what game that reminds me of?
What?
Crisis Core.
Yeah, yeah, because essentially, because it's a prequel, so you do want to learn the connections between these characters and like the main plot. It's kind of interesting when you have a Kingdom Hearts game minus Sora in it, and you're like, oh, how is this going?
I mean, technically, he's in the game.
Yeah, well, he's like a 10-year-old. I think at that point.
Well, the problem I have with it is that the game doesn't understand time at all.
Oh no! Okay. Oh, the Kingdom Hearts for a game that didn't. Well, I think they fucked with time in the second one, but for a game,
big ass of yours.
no, they fucked with time and Dream Drop Distance. Sorry.
Yeah, that's what you're talking about.
Yeah, they fucked with time and Dream Drop Distance, but before that, they were narratively they didn't know what the fuck timelines even were. And the worst part is when they try to explain it.
No, actually, I've seen YouTube videos explain it better than fucking the game does. The game, I feel like, flips between kind of knowing what it's talking about and then just being full of shit half the time.
Oh yeah, of course. Like yeah, there have been times where I see in cutscenes. I'm like, you characters don't know what the fuck is going on either, do you?
And then you have games like 358 Days Over 2, which it's better than Chain of Memories, but I don't think it's as good as Dream Drop Distance or Bird by Sleep.
My issue, I like the story in 358 Days Over 2. I hate the gameplay because it's work. It's busy work.
Oh no, yeah, definitely.
Literally, it's just you doing tasks, and I'm like, oh.
It's the problem. Actually, the main problem with the side games is that you care more about the plot than you do the game.
Of course.
And that's the problem, though.
I mean,
Jesus
hell,
fucking Christ,
Damn.
well, even they knew that. That's why they decided to have 358 Days not a game. They just went ahead and cut the cutscenes out of it and put it in
What's
a movie.
the other game? There's another. Oh, Coded.
Well, Coded is different. Coded, the story, you can erase the story altogether. That story doesn't mean shit. It's just data sorta gathering information. Nah, you don't need it. You don't need it.
Yeah,
but
I don't think that's completely true though, because I think there isn't. Oh god.
There's something at the very end, like at the very butt end of Coded, that's related to the plot.
It's funny because like each of the games makes relevance to things that like don't matter until way later. Like for example, Bird by Sleep explains what's it called? It's in Chain of Memories. What's the name of the castle?
Castle Oblivion, aka Radiant Guardian.
Yeah, even though it never explains where the fucking thing is. How like it explains the importance of the area, but it doesn't explain why that place is a place in the first place.
When you play Bird by Sleep, it's already called Radiant Garden, as if they went.
Yeah, it's almost like it's like what you're saying. It doesn't understand time.
Yeah,
timeline don't mean shit in this game. It's like, well, we know it came after 2, but I'm like, yeah, but that's not what this thing was called initially. Like,
right?
Like
they did that because 2 exists.
And there goes the berry.
Yeah, but it doesn't make sense in the context of the story. Like, it makes sense in the context of us knowing, oh, it's called Radiant Guardian now because that's what it was in 2, but originally it wasn't Radiant Garden.
It was Castle Oblivion.
Yeah, and that's the problem. Like, guys, you can't just. Did you forget your own plot?
Right. They didn't even go through the trouble of saying how Radiant Garden turns into Castle Oblivion. It just is. Accept it. Shut up.
Yeah, pretty much. So and then we got 3. I don't know where we place 3, Tyrone.
I hate the story to bitter end, but the gameplay is all right. It'll never be 2's level, but it's all right.
Yeah, I think that's where 3's combat system is primarily saved by the visuals.
I was gonna say it spectacles the game.
Yeah, like if you took that
bitch.
and for some reason magic is insanely broken in that game.
Oh yeah, you can fuck somebody up with some magic.
Yeah, for some reason 3 thought the best way of handling enemies was not you using your keyblade. No, I'm just gonna shoot you.
No, you can. I literally one shot using lightning.
Oh no, yeah, I've seen playthroughs of people being like, oh yeah. Summons and fucking magic. Those are like the 2 things that absolutely ruin shit.
Hell, you can even beat the secret boss if you just use lightning the whole time or thunder. Yeah.
The main problem with actually I would say Final Mix 2 is what makes 3 look really bad. I think Vanilla 2 it wouldn't be as bad, but Final Mix 2 it's like what the fuck were you doing?
Oh yeah, Final Mix 2 is perfection.
Yeah, it's one of the few games I would argue. It's very close to being what I consider a perfect game.
Yeah, the music's good. The fucking characters are good. The story, oh my god, so they had no business being that good. And the final confrontation with fucking Xehanort, oh my god, it's so good.
The only part of that fight I don't care for is the shooting section.
I weirdly kind of like it. I like when he shoots all those lasers and you gotta press triangle a 1,000.
No. Not that section. I mean when he's
you mean when the airship. I almost forgot that existed where they got to ride on.
Well, why? Because no one gives a fuck about that section.
Yeah, it's such an out of place moment.
I like the whole storming the fucking area section in the beginning.
Yeah, that's fun.
You have to run up and then you cut through buildings and shit. It's fucking ridiculous.
I like when Sora and Riku are fighting in the void against them.
Yeah, the last section of it.
Yeah, where you have to do all the quick time events with the triangle button.
Well, even the shit where you like grab Sora and you have to play as Riku and you're like, I'm playing as Riku, but fuck, Sora's dying. I gotta go save Star.
They do that team attack where they throw each other's keyblades at each other and it causes that huge fucking explosion.
That game has no right to be as cool as it is.
Oh,
That game, I would argue, is very much ahead of its time. That was like, man, can you remake that for the PS3? And I'd be like, bro, I don't even care. Like, I
also topped it off that the music is just the violin orchestrated version of the boss theme, and I'm just like, so good.
Yeah, that's a game I have no problem replaying.
And then KG pointed this out a long time ago when we did the discussion on it on my channel. You could end the game right there and just be done with Kingdom Hearts forever. You don't have to do the rest of it ever again.
Actually, yeah, all you need to play is 2.
Yeah, once you're done with 2, you're done.
2's quality is so high that it makes almost the entire series irrelevant. Like you literally you literally could play Final Mix 2 and be like, I'm good.
Has the best story, has the best refined combat, has the best music in my opinion, and also one of the best endings to the franchise.
It literally is, and that's the other thing that pissed me off. 2 has an ending that is complete and that you could be like, all right, the series is over, I'm good.
Right.
You can literally play 1 and 2. If you have to play any
I was
other
gonna say play 1 for reference, but play 2 to complete it.
Yeah, you play 1 and 2. Once you finish 2, you literally could just stop the story there and you're good.
Yeah.
Because 2 has a complete ending. 2, the main reason why we say 2 is so good that it makes the rest of the series look like shit. That's the reason why we could say don't play the rest of the series. Because 2 is so fucking good that like it's downhill. It's all downhill.
You'll never get the satisfaction. You'll never get the satisfaction that you got when you beat 2.
2 is almost like the franchise peaked way too fucking early. Way too early. Considering all the shit Nomura wanted to do with this fucking series, this shit peaked way too goddamn early. Shit, because 2 is way too good considering it's only the 3rd game in the franchise. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
What the? You know what that is? The equivalent of that would be playing Johto, playing Kanto, Johto, and then going to black and white. Going to black and white, and then going to fucking like Gen 6 right after.
I'll give you one better. After the Unova region is kind of like the Unova to me is Kingdom Hearts 2 of the Pokemon universe. Because after Unova, what? What?
Have we even talked about where we rank Gen 8 with the rest of the gens?
It's not done. It's not done yet. It's not done yet.
I'm talking about like preliminary, like where we.
As of right now, from what we got.
How do you feel about it so far?
I'll let you guys answer.
It's less of a slog than Gen 4.
But like,
true.
Well, shit, Gen 1's less of a slog than Gen 4. That's not saying much.
Yeah, but Gen 1 is probably closer to Gen 4 in terms of being a slog. In certain aspects.
Here's my thing. To me, because I've had the most fun. I've had a lot of fun playing Gen 8, but it's mostly because of you guys, like playing it alongside of you guys.
That's the conflicting issue. Like, you don't want to.
It's very online friendly.
Yeah, like how much? Well, it's not. It's not. It's just.
I mean, like it's the most online friendly Pokemon game. There we go.
I don't really think that's true either. Because I think X and Y has a better online system.
Well, yeah, they do, but I mean, like when it came to talking to you guys, doing the raid battles,
we've done more together.
Yeah, the Islands of Armor, Crown Tundra that's coming up where we get to explore shit together. Like,
if I had to judge Gen 8 on its own merits, it's the best modern 3D game we've gotten. I think it's better than Gen 6, 7.
Yeah.
That's true. It's better than Gen 6 and 7. I will say that.
But my problem, I think, is what happens when you start comparing it to the old game.
To the sprite-based games, then it's under Gen 3.
Yeah, but where's Gen 3 in your list? I guess is better.
It's pretty high actually in my list. Gen 3 is higher than Gen 4. Gen 3 is higher than. I think that's it. Yeah, because then I think in my list, it'll be higher than Gen 1.
Okay.
So it's higher than Gen 1 and Gen 4. Gen 1's higher than Gen 4. So I guess.
Fuck you, kitty.
So out of all the lists, because Gen 2 is my favorite, then there's Gen 5, then there's Gen 3. So I guess it would be my top 4s.
Yeah, I think right now that's where Gen 8 is hanging in the middle. I think is worth.
Yeah.
Yeah, same for me.
And it's
But
not
I
even
give it
it's not
incomplete.
and it's not because it's not done. I think literally it's just the way it is right now. It only beats maybe 2 of the classic games.
Gen 1 fell from this list at one point because Gen 1 was higher, but it fell because of Let's Go, and I'm Kanto'd out now. So it's in like.
Don't worry, buddy.
but
Next year we're gonna have the 25th anniversary. We're going back to Kanto again.
Please, God. Please, fucking God.
No.
My main concern. All right, so here's the thing. Because my top 3, I believe, is Gen 3, 5, and then I kind of hover between like. I hover between a couple of gens because I actually like Gen.
Terrell, is that in order?
What?
Is that in order?
You mean in order?
He hasn't said it in the list yet.
Ah.
No, yeah. I was gonna say my favorite, I believe, is Gen 5, and then it hits Gen 3, and then I always struggle with my third one because it flips like because Gen 1 it's hard because Gen 1 is at the bottom partially just due to the fact that I just don't care for that. I don't care for Kanto as a region anymore. It has cool things in it, but
I mean, to be fair, at this point, I mean, why should anyone care?
Well, I mean, part of the issue is obviously GameFreak overusing it.
Oh yeah.
I think the other part is that the later gens just have better map design. I mean, for God's sakes, if I really cared about Kanto, I just play Johto.
Yeah.
Because Johto has Kanto in it.
Yeah, but not the Game Boy ones because those were truncated.
Well, yeah, but I'm more talking about the other ones.
No, we're talking about Heart Gold, Soul Silver.
Yeah, I was like, he's saying if he
that's
wants to complete Gen 1 and Gen 2, he can just play Heart Gold, Soul Silver.
Yeah, the point is like
but you can't just say Gen 2 because Gen 2 truncated Kanto in the first releases, so you can't really do that. And the only reason why Kanto fit in the first place was because of fucking Iwata, and thank you, Iwata. God bless.
Yeah, I mean, like no matter how many ways you slice it, even though they cut out some of the stuff in Gen 1 and Pokemon Gold, Silver, and Crystal,
it didn't feel like it.
Gen 1 being in Gen 2 is impressive to me. That's always been an impressive flex that Pokemon's done, is to have an older game in a newer game. That shit, to me,
I feel like that should be tradition now, honestly.
Yeah, that shit was fucking amazing, and it's the only game to really do it. Your final boss is you from the last game. That's what? Like, as a kid, that blew my fucking mind.
Yeah, that was a cool concept.
My main concern, though, is I don't want it to be that basic.
Yeah, you don't want it to be worn out. Like, Gen 5, I think, was the only gen I feel that could get away with doing it again. And they didn't do it. They didn't do it.
But if Gen 5 did it, I would want it to make more sense. Like,
I want them to cover the one dragon, please.
So, all right, here's my thing.
The original dragon.
Okay, look, here's my thing. So Gen 8, there's a lot of rumors that Gen 8 technically connects with a part of, which one? Is it Gen 4?
Gen 4.
I thought.
Gen 4
Gen
probably.
4 is I don't like Gen 4. But I appreciate, but here's the, well, no, a lot of people like Gen 4.
Oh,
no, they like the thought of Gen 4 coming.
Yeah, they like the idea of Gen 4. They don't like
But here's the thing. I would prefer that. I would prefer them doing a cross-reference with Gen 4 than doing some weird, and we get to go back to Alola in Gen 8. Because when you pick a different gen from a different timeline, or just from like a couple of gens ago, I tend to appreciate the crossover better. Instead of it being like Gen 1 and 2, that's fine. Because those were the first two.
Because those were the first two, so it's the only way they could go.
But we have 8 gens. Like at this point, like don't just give me fucking Gen 7 because, it was the last gen. Give me like something weird, like Gen 5 or Gen 4, which is a gen that's
I was going to say, don't we remember the time where we thought Gen 8 would somehow connect to Gen 6 because of the map?
I mean, technically, we still low-key think that.
Yeah.
I mean, KG brought it up first. So.
He brought it up, yeah.
It also makes sense considering Gen 8's based in the UK and then Gen 6 is based in France. And
geographically, it makes sense.
They're they're close enough to where you kind of.
Yeah, fuck you, kitty.
The problem is that would imply GameFreak putting in that kind of work. The only other thing is that with the Crown Tundra coming out, I don't know how much that's going to add, especially considering I think the Isle Armor and.
I will be honest with you, I kind of forgot that was coming out.
All right, here's my problem. The Isle Armor to me is a disappointment in terms of battle. considering our armor is supposed to be battle focused, I looked at that and went, "That's supposed to be battle focused." Then what the fuck is what do you count as exploration focused? I actually think our armor has better exploration than it does battles. Also, the Tundra, we already seen clips of having you refight gym leaders and Leon with Hop. So I'm like, I feel like you guys you threw out fucking our armor as like a band-aid, but the real meat and potatoes is fucking Tundra.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of feels like they're hiding Tundra for later, yeah.
Yeah, well, that's tough.
I wish they would, and bruh, I don't know how we're gonna go into the next gen after all this.
Well, because, and that's my main reason why I don't want freaking Gen 4 remakes, because I feel like we can work on this gen and make it better, but no, we gotta move on to the next one.
More DLC. Maybe we'll have Gen 4 DLC. Okay. Go back to.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, if we have to do some Sinnoh stuff, then bring Sinnoh DLC. But don't bring the entire.
I get it. You know what? Perfect. We're gonna make Mount Coronet the wild area.
Oh God, no!
Fuck you! How dare you? How dare you?
That's the only option I got.
I don't want to do that.
Tyrone,
Kevin, your option is to kill this Golbat.
KG, that's like 50% of fucking Sinnoh's map.
I would say I don't want to do that.
That's like
Hell
half.
No.
That's like half a Sinnoh. Half a Sinnoh is in Mount Coronet.
I'm surprised they don't make memes like that. Like everybody got on Gen 5 or Gen 3 with the too much water thing, but nobody gets on Gen 4 for Mount Coronet. Mount Coronet is literally, to me, the worst dungeon in video game history.
Really?
No. The
Really?
water dungeon from Ocarina of Time.
I'm using it in the
Tyrone, you should have just said the worst dungeon in Pokemon. That would have made more sense.
I mean, I was gonna say.
I'm using it on the basis of like when I enter it. At least with the water dungeon, at some point you know that there's an ending and there's a clear ending. There's never been a point in Legend of Zelda where you go through one entrance and somebody deliberately has to go, "Oh, I'm sorry, I went through the wrong entrance," and that cutscene has to play out so that you can go to the right entrance just so that you can go there. Like, that's stupid.
No problem with Mount Coronet is a very touch and go dungeon.
Mount Coronet, I literally
do a section of it, then you leave. You do another section, then you leave. Like another section.
Mount Coronet. So I played Pokemon Diamond and Pearl more times than I'm proud of. I played Pearl first, then I played Diamond, then I played Platinum. So I already knew which entrance to go in after the Team Galactic cutscene. I know in my brain I have full knowledge of where they're gonna be. I showed up there, and when I show up there, there's a Galactic member going, "I went to the wrong entrance. I need to go around." But he won't move. I can't get past him because I have to activate the cutscene on the wrong end of Mount Coronet so that he can say, "Now I'm at the right one," and then I can go back and go to the same entrance. What? If I'm at the right entrance anyway,
it's better than having Psyducks blocking your way because they have a headache.
Well,
yeah,
no,
that's true.
That's in the same context. Yeah, that's in the same context.
Yeah, well, again, that's why Gen 4 sucked.
The problem is also
wholeheartedly.
This was during the time where
it's not better than the Psyduck thing because
No, real quick, I just want to make this. This is during the time before GameFreak get completely, because actually most people mention, and you can see through the Black playthrough, Black is pretty linear. For the most part, Black has kind of a straight path you follow.
But it promotes exploration. If you go off the path, you'll get rewarded.
It does, but the point I'm making is that half of the reason why I think GameFreak started doing that is because they would run into situations like Gen 4, where you would leave the area open enough to where you could take different paths. So they had to come up with some bullshit ass reasoning for it not to work. That's why you had a bunch of dumb shit happen in Gen 4, because they couldn't consistently come up with ways of stopping you from progressing. And it's like, well, fuck. This is just as bad because you've now, like, I know where to go because this is my second or third playthrough, and I still have to deal with the dumb cutscene, which is arguably kind of an issue you could throw at like Gen 7 or Gen 8, being more like story focused. The difference is Gen 7 and 8 don't have like 6 different pathways you can go through, or hell, most times they don't even have fucking 2, for God's sakes.
Yeah,
and I understand that, and what bothers me though is that I get why it became. I get why the franchise became more linear, but now the franchise it's gotten to the point where it's so linear, it's less fun because of it.
Yeah.
But go ahead.
I'm gonna say, well, and the tackle on that Psyduck thing. That Psyduck thing's not bad. Well, it's bad. It's bad. There's a problem there. That Psyduck thing's not as bad as the Mount Cornet thing, though, because you have no choice but to get blocked by those Psyducks. They block the way forward. So that's the only way that you can go that's blocked. So yeah, while it's frustrating because you got to get the stupid secret medicine and then get them out the way, you know that that's a block path that you can take. Here, I have all. This is punishing a player who already has knowledge of where to go, telling them to go back, go the wrong way, so you can activate a fucking cutscene to go the right way. What? So I gotta hold my progression to wait for the game.
It reminds me of Lumio City.
Why do you have a berry?
Yeah, but RPGs do that all the time. Like,
Yeah. What about the fire dungeon in fucking Ocarina of Time?
No, JRPGs do. JRPGs
you got fucking
do
3 different entrances to fucking get to the place.
The problem is once games start getting more open, you had 2 ways of handling how to handle open world progression. You could be loose with it, kind of like what the old GTAs used to do, where you could do random shit and it would still work. Or kind of like, pretty much you had the Breath of the Wild approach, where shit was loose enough to where it didn't have a set line of code that said you had to do this one specific thing. That's why you can beat dungeons in Breath of the Wild with like random ideas and shit you come up with. Like, oh, I have an ice block, I gotta get it through fire. Well, I have an ice sword, so guess what? My block doesn't just naturally melt anymore. So I cheated the puzzle. Like, that's open-ended design. The problem is that the old games, and especially as they got more popular, had to get more official in a way. They had to get more structured. Yeah. And that's why RPGs started getting really tunnel vision. Hell, 13's a good example of what the fuck happened. They were like, God, we had to make shit hallways and corridors, and we had to have these straight paths, because we make open areas, you get situations like Mount Coronet, where it's like, fuck, we can't have the player progress here too quickly. We need to make him backtrack. We need to force you to backtrack. Well, how do I do that? I come up with a bullshit situation as a plot cutscene,
and sadly,
that you had to trigger.
And sadly, by the time 13 gives you a wide open space, they overdo it. It's a huge fucking space at that point, and it's already after the fact. You've already had to play 20 hours of the game to get to that point. But if you haven't lost momentum yet, it's already a problem. And then 13.2, they're better. I will admit 13.2 is better. It's not great, but it's better. But after that, it's just a big old Band-Aid after the fact. It's like, oh yeah, well, we fixed all those problems now. Like, it's too late for that.
I think that's just the core issue with JRPG game design, because JRPGs want to tell a story, so they can't have you going through sections too quickly.
Yeah.
But then the trade-off is, well, now I have to suffer now. I have to suffer dumb plot.
But the older RPGs, I'll give you a prime example. Dragon Quest did it in a way to where it rewarded you for going off the beaten path, but the bonus stuff you got didn't conflict with the story at all. You still got those things. And then the cutscenes would activate when you get to designated areas, obviously. But the game still lets you go further than you needed to. Granted, you'll get your fucking ass beat sometimes.
Yeah, just like in Final Fantasy 1.
Yeah, you'll get your ass beat if you do it, but it still promoted it.
It's also easy to...
We'll continue that next time.
Side note, it's also easy to
finish it. I'm going to keep
it. It's also easy to code that, because 2D games are easier to program than 3D games.
Yeah.
3D games have a lot of extra shit you have to take account for.
Yeah.
But yeah, next time.